And we are back for Game 2 here at the CSI Softball Complex between the Lions and the Dolphins. Georgia Court took game number 1 3-1. They will look for the sweep of this doubleheader here today over the Dolphins. Kennedy Ruth is the starter for CSI today. She now has a 2-1 count. Cheyenne Jackson. 2-1. Misses high for ball 3. Count is 3-1. Currently solo on the call for now. I will be joined by Joe Foreman in just a little bit as he's tending to some other issues around the softball complex. 3-1. Misses low for ball 4. And it's a leadoff walk for Jackson. So a run on first base. Jackson thought about going, will hold up at first. Count is 1-0. Adriana Mungo is the batter right here for Georgian Court. Jackson going to second. Throw to second base. Goes into the outfield. That'll be a stolen base. We'll have to check once again our right field camera. For now, we're going to stay behind the home plate as it's quickly a 3-0 count here to Mungo. So Mungo quickly up in the count, 3-0 here with a runner on second. Lions trying to get the first run of this game, the 3-0 from Ruth. Now it misses high for ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Ruth to start off the inning. Dangerous hitter coming up for the Lions. Kaylin Stuff is coming up the plate. And it'll be a conference in the circle with the Dolphins right here. As Kennedy Ruth tries to get some encouragement from her teammates. Obviously a double play ball would do wonders for the Dolphins right here. Get them the first 2 outs of the inning. As we all know, it's certainly not easy to turn a double play ball here at the softball complex. So Stuff comes up to the plate with first and second, nobody out. Trying to give her team an early lead here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. And she swings and misses on the first pitch for a strike, going 1. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nicholas Pavona. I, for now, will be on the call solo. I'll be joined by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman, in just a little bit. The 0-1 from Ruth. Low in the dirt. Throw to third base. Not in time. And both runners will advance for the Lions right there. So Georgian Court now with one swing could bring home both runners in. Count goes to 1-1. The 1-1. That one hit into left field. It's a base hit. One run will score. It bounces off the left fielder, which will allow the second runner to come in for the Lions. It's a 2-run single for Caitlin Stuff, and it's an early 2-0 lead for Georgian Court. So Jalen Rodriguez comes up with that RBI after that 2-run RBI single from Stuffed. And Georgia Court once again jumps out to a 2-0 lead just like they did in game 1. They got their 2 runs in the 4th inning. The 1-0 from Ruth. That one in there for a strike, 1-1. 1-1. Little show of a bunt right there. But Rodriguez held up. Count goes to 2-1. 2-1 from Ruth. That one just misses inside. It's quickly 3-1. I'm not sure. Did they call? I guess they called that a strike, so it's going to be 2-2. Correction there. Didn't see the strike call from behind here at home plate. So 2-2 now for Ruth. Now one misses for a ball. Now officially, 3 balls in the count. It's a full count at 3-2. So a 3-2 count. We'll see if the runner at first goes here. 3-2 from Ruth. Hit into left field. But caught in left field for the first out. Now we will get you the defensive alignment for the Dolphins in this game right here. Sindra now comes up to the plate. That one goes off of the glove of Latour. As that will allow Stuff to go into second base. That play right now is Charlie Mae Sindrid. And she swings and misses for a strike, 1-1. So Sindrid in game number 1 makes some great defensive stops for the Lions, preserving runs and keeping the Dolphins at bay. 1-1. She'll hit this one into shallow center, but playable for the second baseman for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, if you wait a minute.
After the second out recorded right here, the Dolphins will have another conference at the Circle. As we see Sindrid, seems as if she got injured on the play. She hobbles to their dugout. So she will have to come out of the game. We'll see in the next inning if she does stay in the game or not. For now, Isabella Molina, the next batter coming up here for the Lions. Count 1-0 to Isabella Molina. A huge factor in game 1. Couple of RBIs for her. She swings and misses there to even the count at 1. The 1-1 from Ruth. That one misses high for a ball. The count 2-1. Ruth trying to limit the damage here. Keep this game 2-0 going into the bottom of the first. The 2-1. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike to even the count at 2. The 2-2 from Ruth. That one hit foul behind the plate to even keep the count at 2. So it'll be another 2-2 here from Ruth. That one in the dirt. Count now goes to 3-2. Stuffed is on second. Molina at the plate. Molina trying to bring home the third run for the Lions here. The 3-2. Chopped down the third base line and foul. So another 3-2 coming up here from Kennedy Ruth. That one hit into left field. Will it stay fair? It does. It's a fair ball down the left field line. Stuffed will score. Molina's in second standing with an RBI double, and the Lions lead this one 3-0. That one just staying fair down that left field line. Cecilia Durazma now comes up with a now 3-0 lead for her Georgian Court Lions. Now a miss for a ball 1-0. Misses high, and quickly it's 2-0. So quickly a 2-0 count here. That one in there for a strike, now 2-1. Durazmo trying to give her team a 4-0 lead early on. And Ruth trying to get the final out of this inning. She takes off the initial sign. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one's a high pop-up down the first base line. Acosta is there. She makes the catch and retires aside. But not before the Lions attack for 2 hits in the inning and get 3 runs off of those 2 hits. We head into the bottom of the first inning. Lions lead this one 3-0. Dolphins coming to bat.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Anissa Acosta will lead it off in the bottom of the first inning here. Dolphins trail this one 3-0 now. As you see currently, we have our image overlay of this for now as we have our cameras. We are having some technical difficulties with them. We were trying to fix those issues as this game goes along. That one was hit down the third base line. Sindred on the first. 1 pitch, 1 out to start off the bottom of the first inning for the Lions. Kaylin Cornell is the pitcher for the Lions here today. So face Cassie Latour coming up second. So for now, we will have the image overlay until our camera situation is fixed. We will keep the box score in our top right section open. Because right now we have a 1-0 count to Latour, the Dolphins catcher today. The 1-0 from Cornell. Skips in the dirt for a ball, and it's quickly 2-0. So Cornell down the count 2-0 here to Latour. The 2-0. Misses for a ball high, and it's quickly a 3-0 count. Three and 0 now the count. The Dolphin catcher here. And it misses inside for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk forced by Latour, and she is on first base. And we are back with our live camera feed behind home plate. Dolphins now a runner on first base and Cassidy Latour. Eileen Balderas up to the plate for the Dolphins as she takes the first pitch, strike 0-1. Balderas led off for the Dolphins in game 1. She now gets the start. Batting third in the lineup for CSI here. She chops that one foul. Count goes to 0-2. So Balderas quickly down the count 0-2 here. The 0-2. That one hit to third, off a Sindred. Hopefully she's okay. That one looked almost like it hit her off her chin. Seems like she is okay on the play. Balderas does reach first base. And I think that's going to go down as a base hit. So a base hit right there for Balderas. He'll bring up Bridget Modley here, as we'll have a conference at the circle. So we currently have a conference going on in the circle for the Lions, but I am now joined by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman, who is here. Joe, currently a 3-0 deficit for the Dolphins, but they do have the tying run coming up to the plate in Bridget Modley.
Well, I've been hustling all day, Nick. Made it back in time for the Dolphins' first turn at bat here in the first inning, and a big opportunity for CSI in this spot. 2 on, 1 out, and Bridget Motley is the batter.
First pitch from Cornell. That one in there for a strike, 0-1.
Motley, as I mentioned before, had some good games down in Florida, came up in a big spot last game as well. Late in the final inning, Dolphins trying to get the go-ahead run to the plate in that game. That misses down and away. As I'm sure you've already mentioned, Nick, in the circle, Kaylin Cornell for the Lions. I'd give you her numbers on the season, but our internet is not cooperating this afternoon.
I tried my best with that as well.
Yeah, the internet just not cooperating today.
And unfortunately, Joe, the right field camera still is also not cooperating, so we're still going with our home plate, I should say, camera.
We'll give it another shot next week. It worked seamlessly during the home opener. No such luck today. Now, there could be some interference between right field and home plate, as with the nice weather, we have a really good crowd today. You just never really know with that wireless technology what the reason is for it not working properly, but for whatever reason today, our wireless HDMI not cooperating. Nonetheless, the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Motley. Pitch on its way, and that's off the outside corner for ball 3.
So, Joe, interesting spot here with 3-2. Obviously, we'll see if the runners get a little bit of a head start on this next upcoming pitch. Obviously, do not want to get thrown out on a strike them out, throw them out. We'll see. Curious to see what the Dolphins do on this next upcoming pitch.
Payoff pitch on the way. Runners stay put, and that's chopped toward the circle. Cornell has it and throws to first just in time. And Motley is retired for out number 2.
Motley did a good job there, though, at least advancing the runners now, both into scoring position with that ground ball hit to the circle. So it'll be up to Wanser here with 2 away, try and get the Dolphins their first runs of this game.
Olivia Wanser comes to the plate, designated player for the second straight game. Two in scoring position, 2 outs. Dolphins trail 3-0. Cornell's pitch on its way, and that's low. Blocked nicely behind the plate by Molina. That block behind the dish likely saved a run. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's in the dirt once again. Blocked the second time by Molina.
Leah did a good job with that as well in game number 1. And, Joe, she was a huge reason why the Lions got that win in game number 1. A few RBIs, a huge difference maker for Georgia Court getting that game 1 victory.
Wands are ahead here, 2-0. Keep in mind, first base is open. Cornell checks the wristband and delivers. And that's chopped to the left side, handled at third. And the throw by Sindred is in time to retire Wanzer for the final out of the inning. Dolphins strand a pair in scoring position. They trail 3-0 after 1.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
And we are back from the CSI Softball Complex where the Dolphins trail 3-0 entering the second inning. First to the plate for the Lions in the road second inning is Christy Regalado. Kennedy Ruth in the circle for the Dolphins. Had a tough first inning to open the game. She'll look to settle in here in the second. After a dominant start to her season, she had a tough first inning last time out in Florida as well. Good news there is that she is one of the fresher arms on this Dolphin staff following that game as...
That could have been bad, Joe.
Well, Lou's got to use his hands.
He's got to scale the fence.
He relied too much on the fence. The fence post caught it.
That was almost dangerous of ricocheting right off the top of the fence into his face.
I have to admit that might have been funny. As long as he was uninjured.
Well, yeah, as long as he's not injured.
As long as he's uninjured, it might have been funny.
Not often a lot of foul balls get hit towards the PA. I've certainly not had that happen to me once.
A catch there would have been a candidate for Play of the Year here on Sportsnet. The current reigning champion for Play of the Year is My Ribs catching a foul ball last year.
I wish I was in the room where that happened.
Count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Regalado.
Got a couple of foul balls hit towards the press box at the Fairy Hawks a couple times our previous week.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Quick first out for Ruth in the circle, and there's one away.
So it's Leah DeMeo, not Laya DeMeo. And they are now making sure that the public address knows, Joe, it's Leah DeMeo.
Lou is a bit taken aback after that foul ball nearly caught him. I think
he saw his life flash before him with that foul ball.
It scrambled his brain a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
He's rattled now. As someone who's been hit by 2 foul balls calling games, got to shake it off and keep going.
Yep.
Count quickly 0-2 here on DeMeo.
Always got to watch your eyes when you're here at the softball complex for any foul balls.
Head on a swivel, as I've said many times. At half swing, drops it into right for a base hit. Ball handled quickly and thrown in onto the infield. It's a one-out base hit for Leah DeMeo, and Cheyenne Jackson will be the batter.
Jackson Joe, very big game one as well for the Lions. Not only at the plate, but made a good defensive stop on Anissa Acosta. On a ground ball hit to short, made a great diving stop. Scooped the ball in the dirt, made a huge throw to first base to retire her for the first time in the game.
Not sure if you went through the starting lineups, Nick, but I have those.
I did not.
You did not. All right.
The internet still wasn't working at the time with the live stats. So
okay. So following this next pitch, I'll get you the starting lineups for both teams. All right, for the Dolphins at first base, Anissa Acosta, batting second and catching. Cassidy Latour, batting third and playing shortstop, is Eileen Balderas. In the cleanup spot, Bridget Motley, she's at third base. Olivia Wanzer, the designated player, bats fifth. Amanda Stalker is at second base, she bats sixth. Avery Mockery is in right field, she bats seventh. Mariah Carcano is in center, she's batting eighth. And Sabrina Caffel is in left, she bats ninth. Leading off for the Lions, Cheyenne Jackson. She's at the plate now. And that's it out to left. Playable for Caffel, and she makes the catch for the second out. Rest of the Lions from top to bottom in the lineup. Last names, Jackson leading off. Mungo batting second. Stuffed batting third. Rodriguez in the cleanup spot. May Sindred batting fifth. Molina sixth. Durasmo seventh. Regalado 8th, and DeMeo 9th. As that's it out toward left center field. And Carcano makes the catch on the move for the final out of the inning. Lions strand one and do not score in the road second. It remains Georgian Court 3, Staten Island nothing.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Second inning with the Dolphins trailing 3-0. Amanda Stalker will lead things off. She gets the start at second base, and she looks at a called strike one.
So 3-0 lead for the Lions here in the bottom of the second.
That's chopped foul. And Stalker is quickly in a two-strike hole. Dolphins out-hit the Lions in game one. And as we mentioned, Nick, a lot of it came down to the hitting with runners on base. Dolphins had plenty of base runners in the game. If they can replicate that kind of performance at the plate in this game with one or two big hits, they can flip that game one result into a victory.
You'll have to see if they can get the bats going here in game number two. They were able to get a hit in the first inning. Not able to get anything else after that. See if Stalker can do something here to lead off the bottom of the second.
That's it well out to left, but well foul. And we've seen that several times today.
Very, very much. A lot of foul balls hit into left field. So any oncoming cars going towards that direction, it better be wary of those foul balls.
Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the CSI second baseman. Pitch on its way. And that skips in for ball 2. Cornell very methodical in the circle. Not working particularly fast in this one. Long looks in ahead of each pitch as well. And that's off the inside corner for ball 3.
Her teammates certainly thought that was strike 3 right there, Joe. So count now goes full 3-2.
Good eye by Stalker. And you're right, Nick. The Lions thought they had strike 3 there. Comes the payoff pitch, and that's chopped to second. Throw to first in time. And Stalker is retired for the first out.
So 1 away in the inning. Brings up Avery Mockery.
That will bring up Avery Mockery. Those who followed our game recaps over at CSIDolphins.com will know that Mockery was the hero in one of those games. A walk-off put out at the plate from right field to close out a win for CSI on their third day down in Florida.
It was a very strong throw from right field as well.
Southwest Minnesota State University falling victim to that play at the plate. Now, what you couldn't see and what we can't really convey that well in the story is that on that particular play, the bases were loaded and the tying run was on third. The ball was slicing toward the line in right field. Mockery made the catch on the move. The runner on third appeared, and I could be mistaken, but it appeared the runner on third took for granted they were going to score. Now, I was watching the game from alongside the dugout, but I couldn't see right field. I didn't know that Avery caught the ball until I saw it come in and heard the cheer. So then I knew, of course, there was going to be at the plate, and I just didn't see any way that if the runner was busting it down the line, they would be out. Could be wrong there, but from my perspective, it didn't look like the runner thought there was any chance that a play at the plate was forthcoming.
Well, the Dolphins certainly are grateful that they were able to get that put out at the plate to win that game. Great job by Mockery.
That was one of 2 3-2 games on that day. That was now 8 days ago, last Wednesday.
It's got to feel like yesterday, Joe, since you came back from Florida. It's been a quick turnaround.
Feels like a lifetime ago, Nick.
Right. Feel a quick turnaround from coming back from Florida to this long week we've had here at CSI so far, and it's only day 2.
We're covering 8 games in the next 4 days, including yesterday. So it will be 8 games in 4 days by the time we're done. Down in Florida, it was 10 games in 5 days. On Sportsnet, we called 8 of those, 8 out of the 10. The 2 Wednesday games are the 2 we missed. We were in attendance, just not on the air. 2-2 pitch on its way. That sails up high.
Nice at bat right here from Mockery, Joe. Down the count early on, has now worked it full at 3-2. We talked about that a lot for this Dolphins team. They do a good job of forcing these pitch counts, and now chance for Mockery to do something here.
Payoff pitch on its way. That's chopped down the third base line.
That one hit off of Mockery, so that's going to be a foul ball.
In the box. Second good at-bat of the inning for the Dolphins, and I mentioned that at the end of Game 1. They put together some good at-bats. Unfortunately, with runners on base, many of those quality at-bats did not result in the big hit they needed. Count remains 3-2. Second straight batter to run the count full. And the 3-2's popped up on the infield. Calling for it at first is Stuffed. She makes the catch, and I think she believed that there were 3 outs.
Common misconception.
Well,
it's a common misconception.
If you saw what happened there, Nick, she tried to flip the ball to Cornell, her pitcher.
Yeah.
And Cornell didn't expect it, so the ball rolled away in the circle. Stuffed was halfway to the dugout before her teammates let her know. We've got one more out to get here. The Lions hope that out is Mariah Carcano, and they will get that out as the grounder goes to short and Carcano is thrown out at first. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the second. Score remains 3-0 Georgian Court. Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information. And we are back from the CSI softball complex, where the Lions lead the Dolphins 3-0. Kennedy Ruth settled in nicely in the second inning after a tough first. Dolphins hope to get her some run support in the next half inning, but first, Georgian Court comes to the plate with 3, 4, and 5 due up. Stuffed, Rodriguez, and May Sindred. Now, I would guess that Charlie May's last name is just Sindred and that Charlie May is her full first name. So even though our live stats says May Sindred, it's probably just Sindred.
Most likely.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely.
Most likely, yes. 0-2 the count on Stuffed. And that's a chopped foul down the third base line.
Well, one thing to know right now is the sun is starting to get a little bit away, Joe. So it's a little bit more shadows we're seeing here in the infield. And in that first game, the sun was very, very glaring for those outfielders. So might be able to see the ball just a little bit better now here in the late stages of this game number 2 here at the top of the third.
Everyone who dressed warmly for this game and was regretting it during game 1 will be very, very happy that they dressed warm shortly.
That was me for game 1. That was definitely me for game 1.
I'm wearing 2 long sleeve pullovers, one over the other, so I was warm as well, but we'll be very happy we dressed the way we did later in this game, as that's hit well to left into the corner, but the catch is made there by Caffel for the first out.
Stuff looking to give that one a ride and get another home run on this season. Just a little bit under on that one, and Caffel was able to make the play and left for the first out.
Jada Lynn Rodriguez will be the batter here.
So now starting to creep in just back a little bit here in the infield.
That's fouled straight back. I know we didn't have any flinches behind the plate today.
At least that you didn't see.
So you're saying we had one?
Well, yeah.
Who was it?
I couldn't get a glimpse of who it was. I think Steph saw it better than I did.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was 2 of our basketball. I hold my breath because a car was going down the street as that foul ball was hit. I think it was 2 of our basketball players from the men's team that flinched.
In the stands?
No, behind the plate. They were
okay.
They were saying the bleachers behind.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're flinching in the stands,
well, yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of weak. So that pitch is in for a called strike 3, and Rodriguez goes down looking for the second out.
Well, note to self for anyone that comes to these games: if you sit in the stands behind home plate and you flinch, Joe's not.
I'm watching.
Yeah, he's not for the rest of the wicket.
Always watching.
He's always watching.
Not today though, because I'm really locked into this corner here.
You're also locked into the game, of course.
Of course. As that's bounced right back to Ruth. Her throw to first in time. And it takes just one pitch to retire Charlie May Sindred for the final out of the inning. Lions go down 1-2-3 in the third. Dolphins come to bat, trailing 3-0 after this.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back on CSI Sportsnet. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Pavona. Dolphins trailing 3-0 in the home half of the third inning. CSI scored once in the early game, looking for their first run here in Game 2. And they will send Sabrina Caffel to the plate to get things started in the bottom half of inning number 3.
Very interesting transition song we just had for that previous half inning. Not judging, just not the song I was expecting.
I believe that our game day playlist for softball was given to us by the 2017 squad. They gave us a very extensive playlist that year, and any team that gives us a playlist full of MP3s, we can upload those. And
as long as there's no cursing.
Well, that's a given.
Yes, that goes without giving.
We would never submit songs with profanity into...
Trust me, we've had to delete songs before because of stuff we've heard.
How did those get there?
Yeah. I can't say anything myself. How did they get there?
I know our student athletes would never give us those.
Of course not.
Must have a saboteur on the crew.
It's definitely not me. I've been called that before. It's definitely not me. Yep. I could say you might be that one from last Friday.
You haven't been called that by me.
You called yourself that on Friday.
Difference between a saboteur and a jinx, Nick.
Well,
as Caffel looks at a strike.
That's true.
Count 2-1 on the Dolphins' left field.
But we've been known for our commentators' jinxes for over the years, so it goes without giving as well for that.
I have many nicknames. One of them is Jinx Supreme.
Does that make me Jinx Supreme too?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be Jinx Prime. You'll be Jinx Supreme.
Okay. As long as it's not a big Prime bottle in the middle of a squared circle.
No thanks.
No thanks.
2-2 the count on Caffel. That misses for ball 3.
So Caffel in the first inning, almost with a nice diving attempt in left field. What would be an RBI double for the Lions. She's been very active in this game, playing left field now in the second straight.
That ball's hit hard, but right at second base. And very quickly, there's one away in the inning.
And I think that's been what's been unfortunate for the Dolphins so far in this game, Joe. Some of their balls they've gotten hit pretty hard in this one, but unfortunately it's just been line drives to some of these infielders for the Lions, and it's just been right place at right time for them.
That's been the case not only in this game, Nick, but in the first game as well. Dolphins have hit the ball pretty hard. Lions arguably got their best swings in that first inning, and then they had the one big inning in Game 1 as well. It's been 2 isolated innings for Georgian Court, providing them 5 of the 6 runs they've scored. That's all they've needed so far. At the plate, Anissa Acosta. Count even at 1-1 strike on TJ.
Acosta with some great hits in game number 1. A single and a double.
That's tapped right back to the circle. Initially mishandled by Cornell, but she does recover to throw out Acosta, and there are 2 gone.
So far, Cornell has made some quick work of these Dolphins hitters in this game. So Cassie Latour will try to keep the inning going for CSI with 2 away.
There's a swing and a miss by Latour for strike 1. Once again, having that live stats glitch where it is not changing the batter. As that pitch misses down and away.
It's not changing the batter or the pitch count?
It's changing the pitch count. It is not changing the batter. It recognizes that the batter was out and recognizes a new batter is up, but it does not change. It actually does not change the outs. It's only updating the count. Give it the old reboot. And that usually does the trick. Quick resave. And Latour takes out of the zone. She's ahead 3-1.
She can extend the inning, Joe. We talked about Eileen Balderas and her contribution so far in the young season for the Dolphins. She would be on deck.
3-1 on the way. That's in at the knees for a strike.
Latour will have a full count here with 2 away in the inning. She'll try to extend the inning for the Dolphins and bring up Balderas.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Latour goes down on strikes, and that will do it for the Dolphins in the home third. CSI still trails 3-0 as we head to the 4th.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
And we are back from the CSI softball complex, but the Dolphins still trail 3-0. Isabella Molina will lead things off for Georgian Court in the road 4th. She takes a big cut at that first pitch fastball for strike 1.
And the Dolphins certainly are hoping that Kennedy Ruth now starting to settle in a little bit after a rocky first inning. Back-to-back scoreless innings selects 2. Hoping to do that again here in the 4th.
She's been really good since that first inning, and how about that off-speed pitch?
Fooling Molina right there. Now quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Big swing and a miss the first pitch. Got a bit ahead of that off-speed pitch.
Just in front.
And Molina's now in a 2-strike hole. That's hit in the air, out toward right, and Mockery makes the catch on the run in shallow right center.
Tough play for Stalker, the second baseman, over the shoulder, having to track that one down. So a great job by Mockery in right field to run in and make the play.
Cecilia Durasmo will be the batter. Durasmo 0 for 1 at the plate. And she chased that pitch in the dirt. Ruth now has these line hitters very off balance. That bodes well for her longevity in the start.
That's what the Dolphins are hoping for. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I think after the day, the Dolphins will have 6 days from their next game. I think they play on the 20th.
That is correct. And that game will be played, that doubleheader, I should say, will be played on the road at American International. And I'm sure you remember how that doubleheader went last year, Nick.
I do. We've had a lot of good games with American International from all of our sports.
That's right.
Here at CSI.
Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the line's designated player. That just missed.
I was right there, Joe. Looked good. Just missed it by a bit. The count goes to 2-2.
CSI dugout wanted it. We're about a foot away from being able to hear inside of that dugout. So that pitch misses for ball 3.
As long as they keep it PG, everything's fine.
We'll start running on a bit of an audio delay, though we can't actually censor even in an audio delay.
One day we'll insert a dolphin sound for any censorship.
That pitch misses for ball 4. So after Ruth got ahead, she missed with 3 straight.
You can make the case that 2 of them were right there. It could have been a strike 3 call, but did not get the call from the home plate umpire.
That will bring up Christy Regalado. Regalado is 0 for 1. Comes to the plate here with a runner on first, 1 away. That's in the dirt, and the runner is going. Latour had no play as it got just past her. And That's probably going to be a pass ball.
I would agree.
This is probably the one time calling games that I'll have a good angle to see that. I'm on about a 45-degree angle with the corner of home plate. Third base side. I'm basically in the Dolphins' dugout.
We'll put the nylon throw in the dugout, see how that goes.
That might be fun. As the runner is caught between second and third. And that's an easy out over at third base.
Kind of a hesitation right there on the run. And by halfway there, she had no realistic choice. She had to go to third. And a good throw from Latour to retire the second out now of the inning.
Now, I'm curious if she was given a sign to steal there or if she just hesitated once deciding to go on her own, because you could see, Nick, you said it. It looked like there was some hesitation between second and third. Okay. So we've seen that before, Nick. Result of the pitch or result of the play? She left second early.
Okay, there you go. See, that's why it pays to be next to the dugout. All right, so the Dolphins will take that out, Joe. They're now 1 out away from getting out of the inning. It's now a 3-1 count here for Ruth.
Yeah, we do have a command for that in the stats program. That pitch is in for a called strike to run the count full.
So Ruth now 1 strike away. Bringing this game into the bottom of the 4th, with the Dolphins still trailing by 3.
Comes the 3-2. That's popped up on the infield. Stalker is there, and she makes the catch to retire the side. Caught stealing, gets the Dolphins through the 4th a bit more quickly as Kennedy Ruth puts up another 0. CSI still trails 3-0.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning here at the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins still trailing this one 3-0. And Eileen Balderas gives this one a good ride into center field. This one is going to go right off the wall. Balderas will get into second standing with a leadoff double and a nice strong start to the inning for the Dolphins.
Nick, no question about it, Nick. We were taking care of some scoring from the last half inning. And I step off headset for about 30 seconds. And immediately, Jinx Prime engages. The bats come alive when Foreman steps off the headset, apparently.
Question is, do we mute the mic now for this
Hopefully
next
that's not a trend.
Hopefully not.
Bridget Motley, the batter. Dolphins have a runner in scoring position, nobody out. And Nick, with the way Game 1 went, this is a run the Dolphins have to have.
Absolutely. And I thought for sure off the bat that might have been a home run for Balderas. The tough one to hit, though, dead center. But this is certainly a run they could use.
I'll tell you this, Nick. It sounded like a home run.
Yeah.
Didn't miss by much. Balderas had a couple of long balls in Florida. And wouldn't chance have it, those are the 2 games I missed.
It's a trend I see.
I was not in attendance for either of those 2 home runs.
She was trying to show her Dolphin pride by hitting it over that Dolphin pride center field wall.
She may have hit it on a bounce.
Yep.
Don't know if that ball quite bounced up to the sign.
Motley just got a piece of that one.
Count 2-2.
Good spot in the lineup, too, for the Dolphins, Joe. 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, Balderas was the 3-hitter. So, yeah, 4, 5, and 6 up on next for CSI, trying to get their first run of the game.
Count 2-2 on Motley. And she takes inside.
I thought that was strike 3. Just missed a little bit high and inside. So count now goes full.
It takes.
Did they call that strike? They did call that strike 3.
All right. So
I thought I heard strike, but I didn't know if that's what I heard.
Well,
I thought I was hearing things.
it was a verbal call, Nick.
Okay.
It wasn't signaled. And I don't think Motley realized it either, at least not immediately. So that's a big strikeout for Cornell. Balderas has to stay put over at second. And now Olivia Wanzer will be the batter.
Swung and miss on a ball in the dirt right there on the first pitch, so it's 0-1. It's a brutal break for the Dolphins right there, Joe. Thought there was going to be a 3-2 count for Motley.
That one stings, especially when you thought perhaps you had ball 3. And now Wanzer taps one softly to the left side. She's thrown out from over at third by Sindred. And now there are 2 gone.
So it's going to be up to Amanda Stalker here with 2 away. After the loud leadoff double to start the inning. Cornell is now settled in, is now 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
Dolphins could really use a big hit from Stalker in this spot. She comes to the plate 0 for 1 in this game. And she grounds one in the hole. No play at first, no play at third, and a great stop by Jackson at short once again. It's an infield single for Stalker, and it took a really nice diving stop over at short to prevent the first CSI run.
Absolutely. Definitely saved a run right there. Jackson, I mentioned earlier, made a diving stop in Game 1 against Anissa Acosta, robbing her of a base hit. That one could not rob the base hit right there for Stalker, but certainly saved a run given up by the Lions. So it'll be up to Mockery here with 2 away.
Big spot for Mockery now. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And that's lined the other way into right field and all the way to the fence for an extra base hit. 1 run in to score. Stalker is held at third, and it's an RBI double for Avery Mockery as CSI gets on the board. It's now 3-1.
Talk about a 2-out rally, Joe, for the Dolphins. Stalker gets the infield single, and now you get Mockery with that big RBI double. 3-1 game, tying run now at second base for CSI. And Mariah Carcano now with an opportunity right here with a base hit to potentially tie this game.
The outfield favoring left, and that allowed Mockery to drive the ball the other way. They're now shifted even further for Carcano here. As she hits one on the ground to the left side, Jackson has it, and the throw is in time to retire Carcano for out number 3. The Dolphins do strand 2 in scoring position, but they score their first run on an RBI double by Avery Mockery. It's now 3-1, Georgian Court through 4. Leah DeMeo will lead things off for Georgian Court in the road, 5th inning.
You said it right this time.
Good job, Lou. For a second, I thought you were addressing me.
Oh, no.
I had to say, I don't make any mistakes.
You told me already earlier on I can't call you out for stuff like that.
Depends on what it is.
Even though I've done that on some occasions.
Depends on what it is. We won't talk about those other occasions.
Yeah, we won't talk about them.
Distant memories. As DeMeo fouls that one back, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So, Nick, the Dolphins do come through with a big 2-out base hit from Mockery. Really would have liked one more, but perhaps that RBI double can get the CSI offense going a bit. Kennedy Ruth has been on her game since the first inning.
Well, I think for the Dolphins, after that nice pitch right from Ruth, getting those 2 hits with 2 outs was big because it looked like the momentum of the inning was going away from the Dolphins after that leadoff double. Stalker gets the infield single, and then you got Mockery with that RBI double. So CSI able to get that 1 run is huge for them as they get into the later stage of this game.
Dolphins will need at least 2 more. Still have 6 outs to play with. Check that. 9 outs. 9 outs. My math was a bit off. It's been a long day.
It has certainly been a long day. It's still, as we mentioned, another long week as Ruth gets another strikeout.
And Ruth continues to work her way through this Lions lineup quickly. I think she's faced 1 above the minimum since the first inning.
I think you are correct.
I could be mistaken. I'd have to check the play-by-play, but I'm fairly certain.
Just don't quote me on that.
1 above the minimum. They had the caught stealing as that half swing sends one over to Stalker at second. And the underhand tosses in time to retire Jackson for out number 2. But they had the caught stealing, and I know there was a base runner in the second. The inning ended with a runner on base. I think that's it. The 2 have reached 1 above the minimum since the first.
She certainly has settled in since that first inning, and that's what's big for the Dolphins right now, trying to get back into this game. Now trailing by 2.
That off-speed pitch finds the zone for a called strike 1 to Adriana Mungo. Mungo at the plate in this game, 0 for 1. Has drawn a walk. Comes the 0-1. That's out of the zone.
I will say now a little bit of a little breeze we're getting right now, which is certainly I'm okay with after what we had earlier on in the game 1.
If the weather stays like this, that would be perfect.
Yes.
However, we know better. Once
Yes.
the sun goes down completely, it will not feel this nice. As that's hit sharply through the right side for a base hit. Mockery scoops it up in right field, and it's a 2-out single for Adriana Mungo. And that will bring up Caitlin Stuffed with a runner on first and 2 away.
Tough play for Stalker right there. Had to quickly react to try to get a diving play on that ball, but past her diving play, past her glove, and through the right side for the base hit. So Stuffed comes up with 2 away. I've already mentioned, Joe, her numbers on the season are very big for this Lions team.
Stuffed in this game, 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Now she stands 6 feet tall when she's in the batter's box. She's in a very low stance. That front foot offset almost entirely on the chalk in the batter's box. And she becomes a bit more upright as the pitch comes in. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's hit well out to left center field. Carcano toward the wall, and she will play it off the fence. In to score is Mungo, and in at second base, standing with an RBI double, is Caitlin Stuffed.
Stuffed almost giving that home run bid right there, Joe. Saw an off-speed pitch from Ruth, and almost, just by a couple of inches, got that one over the wall for a 2-run homer. Does get into second standing with the RBI double, and gives her team now a 4-1 lead.
Stuffed hit that ball so high that I lost it. I couldn't find it in the air. I finally tracked it when it hit off the fence. But for Stuffed, that's now 3 runs batted in. As Jadalyn Rodriguez tried to bunt there unsuccessfully, it rolled foul.
She is right now the difference maker of this game. 3-run lead for the Lions. She counted for 3 of those 4 runs they have scored in this game.
That run hurts as the Dolphins had just gotten on the board for the first time. Their starting pitcher had been cruising since the first. And a bit of a road bump here as that sliced foul. And the count is now 0-2 on Rodriguez.
And for the second straight half inning, both teams with 2-out rallies. to get a run on the board. We saw the Dolphins in the previous half inning do it with 2 straight 2-out singles. Now we get a single and then the double right there.
That gets away. With nobody covering the plate for a moment. Stuff took a look, but she won't go anywhere. What do you think, Nick? Wild pitch or pass ball?
I'll go with that a wild pitch.
I agree with you. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Rodriguez hits one out to left, and it falls in front of Cathell for a base hit. As Stuffed trots home, the wild pitch proves costly, and a 2-out rally has yielded 2 runs for the Lions. They now lead at 5-1.
3 straight singles, or 2 singles and a double in this inning for the Lions with 2 outs. And now a 5-1 deficit for the Dolphins here in the top of the 5th inning.
That pitch is fouled away by Charlie May Sindred as Rodriguez was headed for second on that pitch. Count 0-1. Rodriguez stays put this time as Sindred looks at a strike. Ruth looking for a bit third strike here to get out of this inning. Comes the 0-2. And that's hit toward the right field corner, but Mockery is positioned perfectly as she makes the catch to retire the side, but not before Georgian Court scores twice. They earlier led by 3. They now lead by 4. Our score, the Lions 5 and the Dolphins 1.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Sabrina Caffel leads it off in the bottom of the 5th. Her team now trailing 5-1. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins got a 2-out rally the last time up to the plate as there's a strike to even the count at 1. They now trail this one by 4 after a 2-out rally from the Lions in the top of the 5th. Softly hit towards the circle. Long run for the second baseman. Is she safe? They're going to call her out. Now, the only problem is on that play, we're not going to really be able to see a replay of it. We might be able to, actually. We'll check it in a second. Close play at first base. We'll try to see if we can get a good shot of that as that first pitch was in there for a strike to Anissa Acosta. Obviously, during the at-bat, the camera was moving a little bit. We were trying to position the camera. So we'll see in a little bit. Right now the count is 1-1 to Acosta, the Dolphins' first baseman. One out in the inning so far. The 1-1 from Cornell. That one popped up into foul territory down the right field line. And nice over-the-shoulder catch made by the first baseman Stuffed for the second out of the inning.
Over-the-shoulder basket catch by Stuffed as I had to attend to our camera behind home plate. We had a bit more railing than I would have liked, so we took care of that. And Cassidy Latour will be the batter here. 2 outs, bases empty for the Dolphins in the home 5th inning. They trail 5-1. Latour at the plate in this game. 0 for 1. Has drawn a walk. Struck out in her other at-bat. She's behind here 0-1. Pitch on its way. And that's off the catcher's glove onto the umpire's mask, and those are never pleasant.
Anytime you hear a groan from any of the dugouts, you don't like to hear that, but thankfully everyone's okay.
That's what the mask is there for.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine back in the day when they played with no helmets?
I never will understand how that was possible.
I'll tell you right now, I am not getting up there against any of today's pitchers with no helmet. I'm not getting up there against anybody today, but
I might wear a helmet for our faculty staff game.
You can make the case that I should wear a helmet in the booth to protect myself from foul balls.
You need a rib protector from...
Yeah. I do own rib protectors.
There you go. You might need it for the next time.
I've been victimized by many a foul ball calling games. It's really remarkable. That pitch misses well out of the zone. Count 2-2. And that misses in the dirt. So once again, the Dolphins run a full count at the plate. Done a good job at the plate working the count in this game. They've only been out hit 6-4. But the hits for the Lions so far today have come in bunches. It's been 2 or 3 at a time as Latour draws the 2-out walk.
So we saw a 2-out rally from the Dolphins in the previous inning for them, Joe. Can they get one here again with 2 away? Balderas gave a good shot into center field her last time up. Dolphins would love another big extra base hit right here to make it within 3.
Entering the week, Balderas led the ECC in just about every offensive category. Batting average, hits, slugging. Believe she was up near the top in runs scored. Home runs. She's behind here 0-1. And that's hit sharply on the ground to short, but Jackson handles it easily and flips to second for the force and the final out of the inning. The Dolphins strand 1. Their deficit remains 4 runs. Our score, Georgian Court 5, Staten Island 1. And we are back from the CSI Softball Complex as we begin the 6th inning. Dolphins trail 5-1. Kennedy Ruth back out to the circle. And she should have a quick first out here as that's popped up on the infield. Stalker makes the catch, 1 away.
Well, Joe, the point you made earlier, the Dolphins now officially are down to their final 6 outs in this game, trailing by 4 now in this one, and they're hoping that Kennedy Ruth can keep it a 4-run game going into the bottom of the 6th.
As I said before, Nick, the hits for Georgian Court have come in bunches. If I'm not mistaken, they had the 3-hit inning and another 2-hit inning.
They had 3 in the first.
They did have 3 in the first?
They had 3 in the first, and then those 2, or I think they had 2 in the 5th, obviously.
Okay. They had a walk in there.
Yeah. And then there was another hit in one of the other previous innings. I'm not sure which one it was.
I think it was the second. That was the one batter above the minimum that I referred to earlier. Nonetheless, it's a 4-run deficit for CSI, and now down to their final 6 outs. They certainly can't afford to allow any more here. Cecilia Durasmo at the plate, and she swings through that pitch for strike 1.
That one foul tipped into the glove. Kind of going to 2-1.
Durasmo had the green light there on 2-0. Comes the 2-1. That's popped up on the infield. This time Balderas will get a chance, and she makes the catch for out number 2.
I'm sure all of our fans would love to see one of those infamous ones pointing to the sky in the infield with runners on, but Dolphins don't want any runners on at this point in the game.
We always love an infield fly here on Sportsnet.
Do we, though?
Depends.
Depends on what happens.
I think after the fact we can look back on it and have a laugh, given the situation we were in. It's hard to believe now, but 2 seasons ago. Time flies. As that is popped up, this one in shallow right. And Amanda Stalker, Dolphins second baseman, makes the catch once again, this time in shallow right field to retire the side. Another quick 1-2-3 inning in this game. This time the Lions go down in order, and CSI will come to the plate looking to get a bit closer, trailing 5-1.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Bottom of the 6th inning from the College of Staten Island. Dolphins down to their final 6 outs, trailing 5-1. And in this half inning, Dolphins will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Motley, Wanzer, Stalker.
Joe, you didn't know life is certainly a highway.
Well, Dolphins hope to get on the fast track to 5 runs here.
See, we're doing all great segues here.
I am the master of the segue. I don't think anyone in the history of Sportsnet has been better at ad reads than I am.
I'm not going to fight that.
Just one example, we had back when Modell's was a company sponsoring the CUNYAC, we had a Modell's read, and one of the soccer balls at a game was launched into orbit well out of the complex, and I had to say, if you don't want to retrieve that soccer ball and need a new one, you can get one at Modell's, and then we proceed to read the ad.
As I say, got to go to Moe's.
Got to go to Moe's. Many years ago now, Modell's went out of business.
Yeah, unfortunately.
4 years ago. I remember.
It feels like yesterday.
I remember traveling to every Modell's on Staten Island, picking up some great clearance items.
Yep.
Timberlands for $60, sign me up.
Yeah, why not?
Can never have enough boots working these softball games.
Of course.
Motley ahead 2-1, fouls that pitch back. And the count is even at 2-2. Now, I mean, I guess technically since they're not out of business, this is free advertising, but can't help myself. While I was at Modell's, I made a second stop. If you're familiar with Staten Island, you know what else is in that plaza.
Don't tell me you went into there, too.
I went in there.
Oh,
It was closed, so I didn't look like a weirdo as Motley takes a strike.
Once
She
again,
is retired looking. That will bring up Olivia Wanzer. But after I stopped in Modell's, I noticed there was another establishment that was open as an eatery. And Nick knows what it is.
I know.
It was Chuck E. Cheese. First time I'd been in there in probably 25 years.
So they were open for food.
They were open for food.
Now, have you heard the story that they list their thing online as Pasquale's?
That is true.
So that's why it's technically listed as that.
Yes.
Okay.
But I went in there
So
and
go
picked
ahead.
up a pizza.
Yep.
I must say, I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it.
It's kind of like that, that fast food type of pizza that, is serviceable for that moment.
As a kid, I was a frequent visitor to Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm not going to lie, during COVID, my friends and I made a trip there as well. We ate the pizza in the parking lot.
Okay.
So, you are not alone in that Pasquale adventure, if you want to call it that.
I wonder how they did overall. As Wanzer chops that one foul, she's behind 1-2.
Oh, let's talk about pizza now, Joe. Now I'm getting hungry again.
I tried a lot of different eateries during COVID that I'd never experienced before. My all-time favorite, of course, McDonald's,
Of course.
considering they sponsor our pregame show. Of course, McDonald's is number one. But if McDonald's is not within reach, I am a big Moe's Southwest Grill guy.
Yes, you are.
I am.
Many of stories.
I am probably at least somewhat addicted to their salsa. Need at least 12 cups. As Wanzer looks at a called strike 3, and another Dolphin goes down looking here.
This is really what the Dolphins can need in this late stage of the game, Joe. You want to swing the bat at least, try to get the ball into play. But with back-to-back strikeouts looking now, 2 quick outs in the inning, it will be up to Amanda Stalker, who had a single her last time up to keep the inning going for the Dolphins.
Stalker 1 for 2 in this game. Behind her, Mockery 1 for 2.
Mockery obviously responsible for the lone CSI run in this game.
That duo accounting for 2 of the 4 CSI hits. The other 2, both by Eileen Balderas. And Stalker looks at a called strike 2. Bases empty, 2 away in the home 6th. And the 0-2 pitch sails up high and to the backstop. Now, I certainly hope nobody flinched that time.
No.
Good.
Scared there's also no one there? Yeah, no.
I've seen some staff seated where we are flinch on foul balls well off to the right.
I've been a student of the game for too long where I can't flinch at those. It's just not possible.
I train well. Stalker takes ball 2.
That was very close. I thought we were going to have another one of those situations where we were going to get a called third strike without seeing it.
I'm looking a bit more closely now, admittedly.
I mean, you have to at this point.
I can't get much closer than this, as that's ripped foul. We're probably, about 10 to 12 feet from home plate? Maybe a little more?
Yeah, I'd give or take. I'd say give or take. I'm also not good when it comes to measurements, so I don't know if I'd be the right person to ask.
I'd say we're about 10 to 15 feet from home plate.
Okay.
We're very close. 2-2 the count on Stalker. Pitch from Cornell on its way. That bounces in for ball 3.
CSI certainly would love another 2-out rally here, Joe. They can get this game within maybe 3 or 2 runs. They still will have a great opportunity.
They'll take whatever they can get with 2 outs here. As Stalker hits one in the air out to center field. And waiting there to make the catch was DeMeo to retire the side. Dolphins go down 1-2-3 in the 6th, down to their final 3 outs when they come to bat in the 7th. First, the Lions will look for some insurance, leading 5-1.
Dear college sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Seventh inning from the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins trail 5-1. And Georgian Court will be looking for some insurance in the road half of inning number 7. 9-1-2 due up for the Lions. And Kennedy Ruth returns to the circle for the Dolphins, looking to go the distance in this game. And Nick, it's been 2 bad innings. One of those innings looked like it was going to be a quick one. And then the Lions put together a 2-out rally. The first inning was a bit tougher, but overall, since inning number 1, Ruth has been really good.
And that's really what is unfortunate with the game, because Ruth, as you mentioned, just had the 2 bad innings. But other than that, has thrown 4 scoreless, and she's hoping to throw a 5th scoreless inning here and give her team a chance to potentially tie the game in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, if you look at the Lions lineup, it's the top 4 in the order who have given her a lot of trouble. Outside of that, just 2 hits. And with this at bat, every hitter in the Malloy lineup will have 3 plate appearances. And it's a leadoff walk issued to Leah DeMeo, so that's not the start Ruth and the Dolphins were looking for. We have Ruth at approximately 100 pitches, probably a few more than that, unless every pitch has been logged. If so, this will be number 100.
And we'll see what Jackson does here, Joe. Potential bunt opportunity, and she's laying it down.
Runner was going on that pitch. Throw goes to first, and they do get the out. And now they have a rundown. Throw not in time, as DeMeo got back into second just in time.
So a good job by the Dolphins corners on that play, and a good job by Stalk with the second baseman to cover the first base bag. Dolphins almost turning an unconventional double play right there, as DeMeo now goes into second base.
So on that play, the sacrifice will be credited to Jackson, as that's hit in the air the other way by Mungo. It lands foul, out of play. Mungo at the plate in this game, 1 for 2. She's also drawn a walk. And with a runner in scoring position here, the Lions with another chance do some damage, this time in a spot looking for insurance. They've allowed on the day just 2 runs. And something that we haven't talked about as much in this game is their pitching. It's been solid.
It has been very good today.
I think particularly their pitching has been really good in high-pressure situations, as once again it's a well-placed base hit for Georgian Court. That one's blooped just beyond the second base bag. The Dolphins converge and keep it on the infield. But DeMeo is able to advance to third. And now, with runners on the corners and 1 out, Caitlin Stuft is the batter.
And this is a spot, Joe, where I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins keep their corner infielders in and keep the double play ball still in effect. But as we know, and I mentioned this a bunch of times today, it is not easy to turn a double play here.
Well, Nick, I think the Dolphins really would have loved to have first base open in this spot. And if they had gotten that out against the previous batter, first base would have been open with 2 away. Instead, Mungo blooped one on the infield. It goes down as her second hit. She's now 2 for 3. Stuft is 2 for 3, and that's grounded foul. Stuft 2 for 3, 3 RBIs in the game. And a chance here for number 4.
Add her team lead in RBIs on the season. As you mentioned already, 3. And she get her 4th RBI.
And that's popped up.
That won't do it.
Chance for Latour, and she makes the catch. As they'll give a look over to the runner at third. But that's a huge second out for Kennedy Ruth and the Dolphins.
Especially for the hitter that was at the plate. A monster out forced by the Dolphins. And now it'll be up to Rodriguez for the Lions here with 2 away. RBI hit her last time up, Joe. Look to do it once again.
Rodriguez in the game is 1 for 3. She takes high, runner going, throw, goes into center field. As 2 Dolphins let it go, a miscommunication there. And the run comes in to score.
Joe, that just cannot happen for the Dolphins right there. Now they need 5 runs going into that bottom of the 7th. A brutal mistake for CSI. That'll go down as their first error.
Well, the throw, certainly not to blame there. That was on the money. It just split 3 Dolphins. The question is, where do we assign that error? Who do you blame on that one?
I want to maybe the second baseman, Stalker. She was towards the bag.
I would guess Stalker is the cutoff and Balderas is the backup because Stalker crossed in front.
Stalker was right at the bag.
Yeah,
and
so I
didn't move her glove.
I think it's an E4. That is certainly not a bad throw. So we'll correct that, and when we come back, the Dolphins will need 5 in the home 7th.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Home 7th inning from the CSI softball complex where the Dolphins trail 6-1. Avery Mockery at the plate for CSI to lead off the home 7th. CSI will send 7, 8, and 9 to the plate as Mockery takes a called strike. She had the Dolphins' lone run-scoring hit in this game. An RBI double into the right field corner. Dolphins had 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in that inning, but did not add any more. At the time, the score was 3-1. It's now 6-1 as the count evens up on Mockery at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Joe, you mentioned one of the games in Florida for the Dolphins. They were down 7 runs and made their way into almost coming back and winning that game, falling just short. They'll need 5 and hopefully for them 6 in this bottom of the 7th to actually pull out a win.
Dolphins were down 5 in one game. They were down 6 in another game. Believe they were down 2 in a third game. And they came back each time to, at the very least, tie the score. In fact, they didn't win any of those games. As that pitch misses outside, and the count's now 3-1 on Mockery.
Mockery, as you mentioned, responsible for the lone Dolphin RBI as well as one of their 4 base hits in this game. Up in the count 3-1.
You certainly don't want to issue a leadoff walk if you're Cornell here. And Mockery swings 3-1, hits it softly to third. And the play is made along the line as the throw is in time to get Mockery for the first out.
Dolphins now down to their final 2 outs in this game. They'll have a pinch hitter here in Natalia Noth, who we saw in game 1 as well, come in to pinch hit. So she'll try to provide some kind of spark for the Dolphins down to their final 2 outs.
And Natalia Noth will be the pinch hitter for CSI. As Nick, I think the sun has just about set.
Think so.
Starting to get chilly. Noth got pinch hitting duty for the Dolphins in game 1. Came through during that CSI rally. Comes the pitch from Cornell. That's chopped to the left side, handled at third. And the throw by Sindred is in time for the second out.
Sindred's had a couple of those hard hit balls to third base that have took a bit of a hop on her, but once again made a nice scoop to record the out. Dolphins will be down to their final out. It'll be Sabrina Caffel coming up.
2 away, base is empty, home 7th. Dolphins in this game with 4 hits, short of their game 1 hit total. And from the Dolphins side, as I've mentioned, the story in these games is going to be those missed opportunities with runners on base. But for the Lions, their pitching today has been really good.
Could not have asked for any better for Georgian Court. And that's considering what they came into this game. If you looked at their stats pitching-wise on the season, it's been a rough go of things for the Lions so far in the year. But getting these 2 games today for them has been really good, and they're now 1 out away from getting the sweep of the doubleheader.
Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on Caffel. Pitch on its way. That's chopped foul.
So the Dolphins will now be down to their final strike here. Caffel trying to extend this game.
Comes the 1-2. That's down and in.
Now, Joe, as we mentioned, we know after today we still have 4 more games on the week, all from the baseball team on Friday and on Saturday.
Well, I took a look yesterday, and there was some rain in the forecast. I don't know if that's going to potentially impact our games here. I don't think it was going to be too severe in terms of weather, but I'll take a look now. And the rain is out of the forecast, so we should be good to go.
Okay.
Highs of 68 and 61 on Friday and Saturday this weekend.
Not bad, not bad. Put in the press box for that one.
And Caffel takes high for ball 4. So the Dolphins have a 2-out base runner in the 7th. And that will bring up Anissa Acosta.
So Acosta comes up. If you want to keep that 2-out rally going, Joe, with the Dolphin top of the order coming up, this is certainly the part of the lineup you want to try to keep this game extended.
It's back to the top of the Dolphins lineup. And Acosta takes one in the dirt. Well, the Dolphins are going to mount yet another 2-out rally in the 7th inning. They have the right hitters coming up to do it. Top of the order. They trail by 5, so they have some work to do. But some dangerous bats in this Dolphins lineup will come to the plate if this inning continues past Acosta. Here comes the 1-0. And that's ripped through the left side for a base hit. And the Dolphins have 2 on now with 2 outs in the 7th. That will bring up Cassidy Latour.
Joe, get those rally caps going. Dolphins trying to keep this game extended after the walk forced by Caffel. Now a single from Acosta. And now it brings up Cassidy Latour.
If they bring the tying run to the plate, I will turn my hat inside out.
Okay, I might have to do the same. Might be no choice but to do that. So we are making...
We are impartial, however.
We are impartial, but we are making a promise here.
Nick gets paid by the hour, so he'll take extra innings. As that's on the outside corner for a called strike. Comes the 0-1. And that's hit well. Deep to left field, down the line, and gone. It's a 3-run homer for Cassidy Latour. And the Dolphins have pulled to within 2. Our score, Georgian Court 6 and Staten Island 4.
Joe, I think we got to get those caps forced. 3-run shot from Latour down the left field line. We saw her in game 1. She had a shot down the left field line that went foul. This one staying fair for the 3-run homer. And don't look now, but if the Dolphins can get Eileen Balderas on base right here, they'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, there's no robbing that one, Nick. As Latour sent it over the left field wall, it's now 6-4. And all of a sudden, there's some life in the softball complex. There's some life in that dugout. And Nick's hat is turning inside out. The tying run not at the plate yet. Now, I do have a headband on.
Now, I did it. I did the rally cap, but I can definitely not put it on my head with the headset on. So I want the record to show that I at least did it.
Nick wears a size 8 as that's hit well to left, but well foul.
They say I have a big head, but does I have a lot of knowledge is the question.
If it's a size 8, you have a big head, buddy.
Oh, I know. I know I do.
You know, when I was a kid, my family called me Fathead, saying that I had a big head. Perhaps for an infant I did. Now I'm in the medium-large range, 7 3/8,
It's
7
certainly
1/2.
not the fatheads you put on your wall as a poster.
Perhaps they should start selling Joe Foreman Fatheads in the CSI Dolphins online store, as that's chopped foul down the third base line. And Balderas is behind 0-2.
Dolphins once again, Joe, down to their final strike. But Balderas, we've seen, has had a monster start to the year for CSI. They would love to get her on base to bring the tying run to the plate in Bridget Motley.
Well, these last 3 at-bats now, Acosta, Latour, and Balderas, the Dolphins have gotten some really good swings. And again, that's chopped foul.
You see the change of styles in that pitch, throwing it off speed, trying to get Balderas out in front. But good job of her holding up right there. And that one foul.
Well, after the first pitch, hard stuff, she's come in with a couple of off-speed pitches here. You can't blame Cornell and the Lions dugout as Balderas put a really good swing on that first one. Comes another 0-2, and that's in the dirt for ball 1. This Dolphins team with no quit in them. They continue to battle into the late innings, and we've seen this many times already this year. Balderas hoping to keep the 2-out rally going. And that's it on the ground to short. Jackson has it, and the throw to first is in time to bring this game to a close. The Lions surrender 3 in the 7th, but they hold on for a 6-4 victory. And for the Dolphins, they drop a pair to Georgian Court in their first games here at home in the month of March.
And think about it, Joe, what happened in the later 8 stages of the game. Obviously a 3-1 lead for Georgian Court going into the 5th. 2 costly runs given up by the Dolphins with 2 outs in that inning, extending the lead for the Lions to 5-1 at that point. Then we saw the mistake in the Dolphins field and the top of the 7th, which led to them getting their 6th run of the game. Great effort, though, from CSI, though, keeping this one close, getting that 3-run homer from Latour in the bottom of the 7th, but unfortunately they fall in this one 6-4, and now they have a pretty much almost a week off now until their next game.
And we saw some good things from the Dolphins in these 2 games. They put together some good at-bats, especially late in that second game, put some really good swings on the ball in the final inning. But those insurance runs that Georgian Court tacked on late in the game really proving to be huge as they were able to hold on for the 2-run win. Credit to the Lions pitching staff as well. They had a great day, surrendered just 1 run through their first 13 innings of work. That 3-run homer puts a bit of a damper on that second game, but still a very well-pitched game from Georgian Court in both outings today as the Lions earn themselves a pair of victories. They are now 4-0 against the Dolphins in 4 meetings all time. As for us here on Sportsnet, 2 days down, 2 days to go. Games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're back at it tomorrow over at the Baseball Diamond. We have a full crew tomorrow. So, Nick, you and I will be on the air for pregame coverage tomorrow. We will be there. We promise. McDonald's pregame show ahead of Game 1 tomorrow as Marquise Pickering wants to say goodbye to everyone watching at home.
Did he do the gallery today? He did. He did. So there you go.
Marquise did update the gallery.
You can't fire him now.
I had no intention of doing such a thing. No intentions.
You did it.
If Marquise leaves, I'm leaving right after him. So he better not go anywhere.
We'll start the line with them.
We'll start the line. You'll follow me. I'll follow Marquise. Lewis will follow you.
Oh, there you go. Lewis
said not to worry. He will be here for PA tomorrow, which means that I will begin and end the day here at the commentary desk. But until then, hopefully. Until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Bavona on the call for CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins drop Game 1, 3-1. They drop Game 2, 6-4. Baseball takes on Dominican University of New York tomorrow. We'll see you at 11:45 ahead of Game 1 first pitch for the McDonald's pregame show.